Alright you guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Torrence, and if you are new to the channel, I would love it if you hit that subscribe button. If you've already subscribed, I would like to say thank you. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my future uploads. But today, I wanted to first give you all the update on my budget for the month of March. And then I also want to show you the 2 items I purchased so far for April. First off, you guys, let's get into this hairstyle. I kept telling you all I was finally going to get my hair done. My custom wig still is not complete yet, but I wanted to do something because I just could not continue to wear that bump cap at work. Right now I'm wearing what they call stitch braids because even though it's braided straight to the back, they have these individual pieces that are pulled in on each segment. I knew I wanted to get braids, but I figured why not pay for the extra pattern just to see what it's like. And honestly, I think I am prepared for my very next style, which is probably going to be some individual knotless box braids. That has a few more braids than this, and I ain't gonna lie, I wanted to see what it would be like just to make sure I didn't get tired of doing this right here. I'm here to tell you all, I ain't tired of it yet. But I wanted to go ahead and get into everything because if you all checked out my previous video, I'll make sure I leave that link right here above. I still had a remaining balance of $82.35 for the month of March when I posted my last update. And I managed to purchase 4 other things. The very first thing that I purchased was from KKW Beauty. I know a lot of people either absolutely love Kim or absolutely hate her. For me, it's like, honey, I'm here for the makeup. What she doing in her personal life ain't got nothing to do with me or with the makeup world. So at one point in time, I was collecting all of her palettes. Eventually, I had to get over that once I realized I was buying them faster than I was using them. But she recently had a 40% off sale. And I'm like, 40% off? Now normally when she do her 50% off during the 21 days of beauty, that's the best time I say to get them. But there is a selected range of palettes because Ulta only carries so many of the KKW palettes. On her website, it was an all free for all, baby. Any palette you saw was 40% off. So I called my homegirl up like, hey, if I get it myself, it's not gonna give me free shipping. If we both put our order in together, that'd be enough for us to get our discount and go ahead and get free shipping. She called her cousin. We all managed to put our orders together. I know all I got was 1 palette. It originally retailed for $45, but after my 40% discount, it came down to $27. Here in Michigan, we have a 6% sales tax, so it came up to $28.62. Take that from my budget, it brought me down to $53.73. The thing is, I still have not been over there to pick it up, and I did not want to pay her to have them ship it. I believe I am headed that way after I turn this camera off because we have Easter coming up and I'm just going to take the week off and spend time with my friends. So I'm like, you know what? Hold on to it. It guarantees that I'll come and pick it up. And right now I'm just telling myself that I promised myself I would go see my friend. I really want that palette. So you know what? I always take time off to see family. Why not go see her this week? I might not be able to catch my family for Easter, but you know what? I explain that to them after the holiday pass. Second thing we got, during the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty, I was telling you all about in my last video how I love their original 5-in-1 BB Cream Tinted Sunscreen Powder. That has since been discontinued, but during their 21 Days of Beauty, they had their SPF 25 powder. The one I have is an SPF 20. And now that I have this actually in my hands, I'm realizing this is the original Mineral Veil. And that one to me has a slight pink hue to it. Looking at it here now, I think I can see it has just the subtlest, slightest, translucent pink color to it. So more than likely this is really gonna cause an overcast on my complexion. But I'm going in for skincare. I'm not really worried about that. This one originally retailed for $27. But during the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty, I'm going to be able to get it for $13.50. And with tax, that came up to $14.31, which then brought my budget down to $39.42 for the month of March. So I'm like, okay, Torrence, it's nothing else you're going to want. You got $40, you can carry that over. No, I don't now. Also got me one last time, and on one of their sales, they had this, the Urban Decay All Nighter Face Primer. I've never tried this before, but once upon a time, Urban Decay used to have a primer. It was all over the face. And before it discontinued, when I tell you, I purchased it from every retailer that I can find. I didn't care if I had to pay for shipping overseas or anything. And for about 2 years, I had backup of that product and finally ran out. It broke my heart, and Urban Decay has never quite did another primer quite like that one. So I'm willing to test this one out. It originally was $36, caught it during the half off Ulta 21 Days of Beauty, which brought it down to $18. After taxes, that was $19.08. So I'm like, okay, now we got a budget of $20.34, Torrence. You good. It ain't nothing you like that's gonna be $20. You didn't check the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty. There's nothing else coming up. What else could you possibly want? And I remember telling you all in the previous video, I wanted that Dominique Cosmetics palette. I went, hit up the app, and I'm like, she out of budget. And I just really did not want to pay that 10% interest that I put on myself. So I'm like, you know what? We walking away. We can wait. Hopefully it's still on sale on the first. We'll grab it then. But why, internet shopping on the Sephora app, waiting, looking around, like, okay, since we can't get what we wanted, found this little bad boy here. Pat McGrath had this set. It originally retailed for $25. Nobody bought it. I ain't seen or heard nobody talking about it because I believe all of these products are miniatures. And it originally retailed for $25, but was half off at $12.50. With tax came up to $13.25. I'm like, a miniature lipstick in Flesh 5? I don't need it because I have the full size. But then I'm like, a lip pencil in Living Legend? I don't got Living Legend, and I like the sound of that name, and I ain't never went through a full size one of her lip liners, so I'm like, do you need a full size? When I realized this was a gloss that came in a squeezy tube, and I absolutely love Pat McGrath glosses, I said for $12.50, this is worth it, honey. We taking this home. So that brought my budget down to $7.09, and we managed to carry that over. And it wasn't until I got this all the way home that I sat back and looked and realized, this is not the Lust Gloss formula that you know and love and use on a regular basis. So, although the color is cute, I know I love her Lust Gloss. This is the Vinyl Gloss. So I have no idea what this formula is going to be like, but for $12.50, we was willing to find out. And since we had a nice little bit of change, $7.09 left over, that carried over to the month of April, and now that brought my total budget for the month of April up to $182.09. So I'm like, hey, we rich in this bad boy. But then the first came, and I'm like, you know what? We still want to grab that Dominique Cosmetics palette because that Latte palette already sold out. Thank God we got it already. But I never went and grabbed this one here, the Berries and Cream, because before YouTube, I am telling you all, I really did not care about purple shadows. But this here, I already expected it to be large because I have her Rustic Glam palette, and I know I have something else from her. It's the Celestial Thunder or Storm. I don't know which one is which, but I know I have one of those. And I'm surprised I did not grab this before, simply because it finally gives me the chance to say I have a black shadow from Dominique Cosmetics. And I think the main reason I never play with her shadows is because I never had a black from her. Although I could always do my look and then grab another palette and use the black, I never had one from her particular brand. And now that I know, love, and use berry and warm tone shades, even though I prefer cool tone shades, this is going to make a beautiful addition to my collection. And considering the fact that at full retail price, she's $44, I probably would have overlooked it. At half price for $22, $23.32 after taxes, I had to have her. And I want to swatch her and go ahead and use her. But I promised my best friend I would be over tonight, so I need to get through with this. And this brought my budget down to $158.77. And I must tell you, just the packaging and the color story alone already has me believing I'm gonna love this. I haven't had a bad palette yet from Dominique Cosmetics, and I just really wish they would have had that Latte 2 palette or her new one on there. Even if they weren't on sale, I just wish Sephora would have had them because it makes it a lot easier to test things out and return them if you don't like them. But my last purchase, which is something I honestly went and picked up today, I realized I've never tried anything by the brand Pixie. Everything to me with them just looked okay. Nothing looked spectacular. Nothing ever caught my eye. But this palette here just took me back. This is the Pixie and Promise collab. And although the packaging on this is extremely basic and so is the color story, it's just a neutral palette, 7 mattes, 2 shimmers. It's Promise Fond that I wanted to support. When I think of old school YouTubers, it's like I remember watching her cousin Michelle first, but Promise was the one who eventually just held on to my attention because she not only does regular makeup, she does transformation makeup. And anybody who can let themselves look like a beautiful princess one day, but also an alien or a cartoon character the next, you got me. So even though this is a very simple palette, I probably truly did not need another neutral palette. This gave me the chance to, 1, support someone I've been watching for years, and 2, gives me a way of trying out a brand I've never tried before. So whether I like this or not, this could be straight trash. I'm going to keep it just to support Promise. And honestly, I can go ahead and just pop this open because I really just want to take this and put this on my shelf of influencer collabs. I said one day I may go ahead and do a video showing off my influencer collabs. It's just a plastic packaging. It looks basic like the rest of them here. They usually have this green. And for me, it's like a very neutral Juvia's Place palette. It's a very large packaging, but you get the 9 pans, what they are famous for. And this is just a basic color story. To me, the only thing I personally would have changed is I would have taken this shade here and swapped it out with this shade. I would have just moved them around because this is a warm, warm, cool shade. This looks cool, cool, warm. So I would have just mixed, ooh, I just tapped right into it. So I would have just swapped these 2 around, and that way it would have given me a chance to go straight up and down to do either a warm or cool tone look. And then I can just come to this middle shade if I want to deepen anything up. And more than likely, this is going to be my everyday just try it out palette, or a palette I can use to run out the door. It gives me the chance to create a beautiful look without going over the top and without going so deep that I feel uncomfortable. I personally don't mind a black every day, but I know a lot of people don't. So I'm going to test this palette out really soon just to make sure I can give you all my opinion before it sells out, because I checked out many different stores and found out I never found it at Ulta. I never found it at Walmart, but I was able to find it online at Target, and I didn't want to risk driving out there and not being able to catch it on time or anything. So I ordered it online while the stores was closed, and when I woke up the next morning, they told me I can come pick it up. So that's how I got this one here. And this one brought my total down because it was at full retail value, $22 plus tax, $23.32. I think I might have said that already. But then that brought my budget down for the month of April down to $135.45. And I'm telling you, sis, I'm looking at that $135 and I'm already going like, I don't know how long that's going to last, because April, I got family members who have birthdays in April. Milk Cosmetics just dropped a Mary Jane collection. At first they were saying you could only buy the full collection. I'm like, $130. I'm not buying 3 pots of glitter gel. We're not doing that. But I already know from just past history, and because I purchased every single palette from Milk Cosmetics, their smaller palettes are usually $48. Their larger ones are $58. So I'm already looking like, oh, Torrence, $58 of your budget might already be gone, because that's an extremely cool tone palette. And I'm like, Torrence, you don't need it. You don't need it. But let them drop it during the Sephora Rouge sale. I think that starts on the 9th. 20% off. You can already expect me to be on it, honey. So I can't promise nobody nothing during the month of April, during the Sephora Rouge sale. All I can tell you is, stay out of my way, sis, and let me get what I need to get. But this is going to be a quick video because I do have some time off this week. I'm hoping to get 4 videos out for you all next week because of the lack of videos this week. I wanted to try to make that up for you. And I want to try to get 2, if not 3 of those videos to be full face tutorials, because as you can see, we didn't get our skin going back. This mark here is still there, but it's to the point where, honestly, I feel as if she's as flat as she's going to get. I believe she is healed, if not completely healed, but acne scars do take the longest to get going. I did promise you all my skincare routine coming in April. I will be dropping it in April, but I'm not gonna lie. I am just trying my hardest to get this to heal up as much as possible. To be talking about how good skincare products work while having a skincare breakout just seems like, that's like telling me you're gonna sell me some anti-slip shoes while busting your butt in the middle of the commercial, honey. So I hope you all truly have been enjoying things. I want to thank you all for the support. And with nothing else to say, I hope you all remember to practice, continue to stay blessed, and until next time, goodbye, YouTube.